My solo show at Steel City Coffee House is a series of clay monoprints. So many people don't know what a clay monoprint is that I thought I would show you a little bit about my process. So when I come into the studio, what I'm often greeted with is a clay slab that I've worked on in the past, and what's left on the slab is something that I'm going to start working with again. So what I often do is think about what I want to create, and today I want to do something that maybe has to do with flowers. Mother's Day is coming up, thought maybe flowers would be a good thing to do. So what I do is I take what I'm going to call a mask and I lay it down on my slab and I press it in. And what this is going to do is it's going to block the colors and the design that is on the slab. And then I'm going to take wet slip, which is clay that I've colored with permanent pigment. And I'm going to use what's called a hacky brush, because this holds a lot of clay. And I am going to cover over what I have just placed down. And what I'm doing here is creating a background for the print that I am going to make. And as I said, probably going to try and do something, even though it's abstract, that looks like it has flowers. So I've covered the mask, and now I am going to lift up the mask, and what we're going to see is this vase, I'm going to call it a vase, underneath, and I'll just lift it up for you to be able to see. And then as I work with this piece, I'm going to add more colors and more designs until I'm actually ready to print it. But because I'm not ready to print this yet, I'm going to show you how I print from this other area of my slab. So I take a substrate called Remay and I wet it with my handy spritzer here. And I lay it down on the slab for what I want to print. And then I take a pony roller, it's kind of like used to make pizzas, and I start rolling so that what's on my slab starts to transfer to this substrate. And what you will see is it starts to transfer onto the Remay. And that's how I make my clay monoprints. And because every time I do this, some clay is lifted off as well as some pigment, what's left underneath is always a little bit different. So if I pull a second print, it might be similar, but it will be different. I hope this helps you understand a little bit about my process, and I hope you'll take a look at my work at the Steel City Coffee House